Welcome back to Pastry Maestra. I'm Teresa and today I'm making Swiss roll. Could it be that some bored Swiss banker sitting in the bank vault and counting endless rolls of money came to an idea of making a cake that looks like a roll of money? Or the inventor of the Swiss roll was a tired clockmaker that became dizzy of looking at the countless cogwheels swirling back and forth? Nobody knows. So what is Swiss about the Swiss roll then? Probably nothing, because it seems that Swiss roll didn't originate from Switzerland at all. Its origin isn't determined, but it is believed that the Swiss roll was invented either in the UK, where it is a very popular tea cake, or in Austria, but nobody knows for sure. On top of everything, the origin of the name itself is also a mystery, in case you were wondering. Sorry. Anyway, Swiss roll is a light sponge cake filled with jam, chantilly cream, lemon-curd buttercream or ganache, and swirled into a roll. If you want to learn about all those fillings, study my post. The links are in the description. Swiss roll is particularly beloved by the English when it comes to their afternoon ritual of drinking tea. However, it is also quite popular in the US, Canada, Australia, Hong Kong and India. To make Swiss roll, you will need to bake a thin sponge cake in a rectangular paper-lined baking pan. If you have a silicone mat, you can use it instead of baking pan. When the cake is done, take it out of the pan and transfer onto a cooling rack. Dust your cake with powdered sugar, cover it with a cloth and carefully roll into a swirl. Leave it to cool like that. When the sponge cake cools down, unroll it, spread the filling and roll it again. Put the roll in the fridge for an hour to set, and after that, put on a tray seam side down and dust it with powdered sugar. That's it. Now you just need to cut yourself a slice and wait until 5 p.m. Or you can just eat it right now. Or both, it's up to you. But first, let me show you how to make Swiss roll. As usual, the recipe is on my site. The link is down below. To make sponge cake, first thing I'm gonna do is whisk egg yolks with approximately half of the sugar. Next thing I'm gonna do is make French meringue out of egg whites and the rest of the sugar. To make French meringue, I'm gonna put room temperature egg whites into a bowl of a stand mixer fitted with whisk attachment and whisk on medium speed. When soft peaks form, I'm gonna start adding sugar gradually and continue whisking until all the sugar is dissolved and the meringue becomes nice and glossy. To make sure the sugar is dissolved, I will rub some meringue between my fingers. If I can't feel any crystals, my meringue is done. Next thing I'm gonna do is mix sifted flour and almond flour into another bowl and set it aside until needed. Now I will add the egg yolk mixture into the meringue and fold it with my rubber spatula. Then I will incorporate dry ingredients gradually until I get uniform mixture. I will pour the batter into my silicone mat and spread it evenly with my offset spatula. I'll bake my sponge cake at 180 degrees centigrade, which is 350 Fahrenheit, for about 10 minutes until golden. My sponge cake is done. Now I will dust the cloth with some powdered sugar. Then I'm gonna put sponge cake on top and peel off the silicone mat carefully. I will dust the sponge cake with some powdered sugar. Next, I'll roll the sponge cake along with the cloth into a roll and leave it to cool down like that. My sponge cake is cooled. I'm gonna unroll it gently. Then I will spread some raspberry jam on top of the sponge with my small spatula. I will roll it tightly, wrap in plastic foil and put it in the fridge for about an hour to set. My jam roll is done. I'm gonna dust it with powdered sugar. Now I will cut it into slices. I can't wait to taste this simple but delicious treat. Join me!
Oh baby, you are so sweet, so delicious and yummy, so good to eat. I wanna lick you, feel your sweetness on my lips. Forever and ever, you'll stay on my hips.
I'm Teresa. Thanks for watching my video. I hope you liked it. If you want to stay in touch, follow me on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, and of course, visit my site, where you can find elaborate posts with lots of pictures, additional information and recipes that follow my every video. Also, on my site you can download my free 365 pages ebook The Pastry Chef and maybe buy me a macaron, if you think that I've earned it. Now, before you go, please hit the like button and subscribe to my YouTube channel. That really helps a lot. Finally, and this is the most important thing, don't forget to create sweetness every day, because sweetness is happiness. See you in my next video. Bye!